everybody, Terrible Tim here. Welcome to our very first video log. This is something that I've been wanting to do for quite a while, so I'm kind of excited to get this started. I want to thank you for joining us and checking us out. We are here at the HayWire Racing World Headquarters. I want to kind of do a 2013 season recap and get you guys up to speed on where we are and what we're doing. I also want to talk about the last race of the season that we participated in. It was a 100-lap late model race at Evergreen Speedway on the big 5/8 for championship night. Both myself and Tommy were there. That was a lot of fun. But I also want to kind of go back to the beginning and recap what I've been doing all year and where I've been. I've gotten a lot of questions regarding why I haven't had my car at the track every week. So I wanted to bring everybody up to speed on what has happened with my racing program for the whole season and get you up to speed on that. So let's take a little journey and go back to the beginning. At the end of the 2012 season, I acquired a new chassis. That would be the one you see behind me. This car started life as an open wheel modified. We've done a lot of work to turn it into what we wanted out of a late model, more specifically what I wanted out of a late model. I've been pretty picky building this one, so it's taken a long time, longer than we had hoped. We had every intention of running the old car just a couple races at the beginning of the season and then debuting this car at the Galloway Memorial. That race did not happen for us. What did happen was our financial situation changed quite a bit right at the beginning of the season, and I made a choice to focus on building this car instead of racing the old car, because it was my thought that every dollar I spent racing the old car was a dollar I couldn't spend building this car. So we chose to just focus on one thing, and that was building this car. So that's why when you have seen me at the track, I have not had a car with me. What I have been doing is manning the spotter duties for my brother Tommy. You can usually find me in the spotter booth. I do enjoy doing that quite a bit. It does keep me connected to the sport. And like I said, it's something I really enjoy doing. So usually you can find me up there with a headset on if I'm not in my car. That brings us to the last race of the season, championship night at Evergreen Speedway. Like I said, 100 laps on the 5/8. Both myself and Tommy participated in that race. I took the old car out. We were trying something totally different with our setup. It was something we had never done before, something I kind of wanted to try. It was more of a testing platform for what I want to do with this car next year. If everything goes right next year, hopefully we'll have it out there. The setup was, like I said, something totally different that we had never done before, so I really didn't know, we didn't have any notes about it. I didn't know what to expect from it. I really didn't know what to expect from it in terms of tire wear, long-term reaction, you know, as the race got on, what the car would do. I really didn't have any notes to go off of at all. What we did know was when we unloaded the car at the track, it was faster than it had ever been right out of the box. So we were pretty excited about that. That was telling us that we were going in the right direction. We made very little changes to the car. I think we made a few changes for it for qualifying, and qualifying again proved that the car was faster than it had ever been. So we were really happy with that, and I had a car that I really felt like I could race. It was very stable. I liked the way it was reacting. I liked the way that I could put it anywhere I wanted to put it, and it didn't do odd things like it had done in the past. It was just a very stable, raceable car. So even though it wasn't as fast as, you know, the fast guys, it was faster than it had ever been, and it was a solid car, and I made the decision to just leave it alone and let me race it, because I really felt like we had a good car in race trim. So that's what we did. We started kind of deep in the field. I think we started 14th out of 18, and my brother Tommy started right in front of me, 12th out of 18. So instantly, you know, you got your brother in front of you, so you know you got to get around that one, right? So we knew we had our work cut out for us. We were also starting on the outside row, which is not the greatest place to be, but it is what it is. Once the race got started, we instantly found a hole to get down in the bottom groove, and I just kind of decided to try to find my rhythm and start laying down some laps and see how this race was going to play out. For those of you that have watched a lot of late model racing, more specifically our late model racing at Evergreen Speedway, you know typically there's a lot of cautions. So I was expecting a caution within the first 10 or 12 laps, to be honest with you. And I felt that if I could just find a rhythm and then wait out that first caution, it would give me a good barometer as to how the car was reacting and what I could expect for the rest of the race. That caution did not come. For some reason, we actually ran, I think, 87 laps of green flag racing. It was, I think, one of the longest green flag runs we had had at Evergreen Speedway all season. So that was interesting to me. And as the race grew on, the car was really good. I made a few passes. We climbed up a little bit. I know at one point we were pressuring a couple of the, what I would classify as the fast guys there. So from the driver's seat, I was really happy with how the car was handling and what we were doing on the track. So our race was playing out better than I had expected. Somewhere around lap 45 or 50, the car started going away on me. I wasn't sure if something was wrong with the car or if I had just used it up. To be honest with you, the way the car felt going in the corner, when I would set it in the corner, it would start chattering really, really bad. And it was vibrating the whole car. It was vibrating my steering wheel. And it was really starting to pick up a bad push. I thought that I had just killed the right front tire. Like I said, with no notes to go off of on this setup, we really didn't know what to expect from it. So I thought I had just overdrove it and used it up. I was afraid that the right front tire was going to give up on me altogether. I asked the crew to look at it. On the radio, told my spotter that I thought it was going down. They confirmed that it was holding air and looked great. So I thought maybe it was chunking out. With the way that it was vibrating through the corners, you know, chunking out made sense to me at the time. And then somewhere around lap 83 or 4, I made the decision to bring the car in. I knew I was close to the end of the race, but the car had gone away so bad that I was not gaining any more positions. And like I said, we were just using it as a test session. So, you know, when you're in the turn and you're at full lock and the car's still going towards the wall and you're trying to pick up the throttle and you're just thinking, please God, don't blow out, because I didn't want to put the car in the wall. So there came a point where I just said, okay, I think I've pushed my luck enough. Let's go ahead and park it and call it a day. I brought it in the pits somewhere, I think it was lap 85, and then 2 laps later that yellow flag came out. So that was kind of a bummer. We thought, you know, had we just stayed out there, we could have got a yellow and brought it in and looked at it under yellow. But as it turned out, the right front tire was fine. What had happened was the left front shock mount at the upper end of the shock had ripped completely out of the frame. We'd never seen that before, so that was kind of new for us. I've seen the lower mounts break on the A-frame, but to rip the mount completely out of the top frame rail, that was kind of new. So basically I was racing with no left front shock on the car, which would explain the really bad chattering I had through the turns and the push that it had picked up. So it was probably a good idea to park the car. In hindsight, you know, it was probably a great idea. I don't know if I could have finished the race. I know I certainly wouldn't have picked up any more spots, but all in all, we were really happy with the way the race played out and the way the car handled, of course. Tommy's race did not go as good. He pulled his car in somewhere around lap 25. Evidently, he had some engine problems. He's been having some engine problems with this new engine that they purchased a few months back. It hasn't been what they were hoping for, so they've been struggling with that. So, you know, luckily we ran longer than Tommy did. So on a good note, you know, inside the shop I get to rib him a little bit about I finished in front of him again. But the reality is his car was much faster than mine when it was on the track. Had he not had an engine problem, I don't think that would have been the case. But it's the off season now, and I'm going to rib him all winter. So going into this off season, you know, that kind of wraps up our whole season. We just ran the one race, and you know, the only reason that I ran that race was because the track promoter at Evergreen asked me for a personal favor. I really love those guys. It is my home track. I encourage you to check them out. What they're doing out there is phenomenal, and any way that I could support them, I was willing to do that. So when he asked me for a personal favor, we dug the car out and took it up there and ran it. And I'm glad we did. It was a lot of fun. You can check out Evergreen Speedway online at evergreenspeedway.com, or you can follow them on Twitter at Wa State NASCAR. They also have a Facebook page if you want to check them out on there. So, you know, be sure to give those guys their support. I love them. They're great. I'd love to see you guys out at the track. Hopefully this off season we'll get this car finished up and have it out at the track. As you can see, it's not that far off right now. We just need to get a drivetrain in it and then finish up a little bit of body work. We're pretty close. So we're happy with the way that it's turning out, and we're looking forward to a really good 2014 season. And I hope to see all of you at the track. Thanks for coming.